Well, welcome everybody. Today's speakers is Dr. Duan, Dr. Jennifer Duan. Jennifer is a professor of hydraulics and sediment transport in the Department of Civil and Architectural Engineering and Mechanics at the University of Arizona. Dr. Duan joined the University of Arizona as an assistant professor in 2006. Her research area is experimental study and computational modeling of flow and sediment transport in unsteady flow, vegetated waterways, overland flow, rainfall runoff simulation, and scour around bridge structures. She was the winner of the NSF Career Award in 2009, has led many local, state, and federal projects, and published intensively in water journals. Her ongoing research projects include sediment transport in vegetated waterways, prediction of post-fire surface runoff using the curve number method, and image-based flow discharge and sediment measurements. And with that, let's welcome Professor Duan, and we are ready for your presentation. If you can share the screen.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. Here it is my screen, and my presentation is right there. I already have it open. So as Dr. Maria said, I have been working in University of Arizona for many years. Probably many of you know me. And we are working a lot on hydraulics and sediment transport. In recent years, we starting work a little bit more on hydrology. And this presentation I'm going to show today, it is a project completed last year, and is about using curve numbers to calculate post-fire runoff. And also we updated the curve number map for the interior Piedmont County. My PhD students, currently she's a postdoc with me, Kun Qi, she's here too. And if you have question for her, she can answer. And here I'm going to be the primary presenter to save time. So this is a curve number method. We all using curve number method somehow in hydrology, rainfall runoff analysis. And this method also available in hydraulic models. And the main thing it is how you define curve number. And we have two major sources. One source is the TR55. It is a National Engineer Manual. And this two table we typically use. One, it is for the arid, semi-arid region. And the other one, it is for agriculture land. And we do have a lot of agriculture land. So this two, it is the primary tables we're using to define the curve number in our region. And ABCD means a soil group. And you see this type of vegetation, and this it is the hydrologic conditions. And we interpret it as coverage, like poor, fair, and good. Good means 70%. Fair means 30 to 70%. Poor means less 30% coverage. So another source we were using, particularly in our county, probably most of you know, we're using PC Hydro's definition of curve number. And this is a table from PC Hydro. And the table will cut off a little bit. We have five different vegetation covers. And this is different from TR55. And we have a DCB soil type. We don't have A soil type. And this it is a continuous curve. Rather, the x-axis is the percentage of coverage. And here is 10%, 20%, all the way to 80%. So this means the curve number are reducing with the increase of vegetation covers. But remember TR55, when you have this table and they don't have percentage, they have three categories: poor, fair, and good. So this it is our county's continued curve number. And the first project we had is a study post-fire runoff after the 2020's Bighorn fire. And this is a burn area in Catalina Mountain. And that fire burned about a month. It's 48,000 hectares of this is burn area. So this is a burn severity map. So what is a burn severity? And the Forest Service classify the soil burn severity. It's not soil burn severity. This is vegetation burn severity. It is a mistake because they don't measure the soil temperature during the fire, but they do using satellite measure the amount of vegetation being burned. So using the vegetation being burned, they classify this burn severity: high, moderate, low, and unburned. So what is high? If the trees were burned down, they call high burn severity. So this burn severity map usually coming out within like 45 days post the fire. So this has a resolution of 30 meters. In fact, we want to know it is immediate after fire, how much runoff increase if there is a rainfall event immediately post the fire. So it is the concern, the flooding concerns. So what we did our a study, and because engineer company, if you're engineer company, when you do this study, usually you assuming the vegetation being burned down. So the CN number going to increase. The question it is how much increase? We're going to increase 5, increase 10 at where? So those are the questions we don't have a scientific base. And you can, assuming increase 10 or 20, it is assumption. It is not, there no scientific base. So what we did a scientific based, grid 30 meter by 30 meter resolution, scaled increase of curve number. How we do that? So we first get the vegetation map, pre-fire vegetation map. Then we get the vegetation reduction map from Beer team, and is an interagency team. They provide a vegetation reduction map on the burned area. So it is a land fire. Land fires updating national vegetation coverage every 5 years. So we have 2020 pre-fire vegetation from land fire. So land fire provide two data. One is vegetation type, what type of vegetation. The other is vegetation cover. And in land fire, the vegetation type for Catalina Mountains is 75 different type of vegetations. But when you remember, we have a curve number, the table, only for 5 type of different vegetation. So we need to classify this 75 different vegetation into the table we have. PC Hydro, TR55, only have 5 to 6 different vegetation. We need to do in that. So this land fire vegetation need reclassified. We did that. And we use the hack GeoHMS and generate a gridded CN map. And this gridded CN map is a 30 meter by 30 meter resolution. So land fire provide a vegetation map with a resolution of 30 meter by 30 meter. And we develop a CN map, 30 meter by 30 meter. And this is based on 2 tables. One is a TR55 table, the other is a PC Hydro table. Because the TR55, it is what was developed maybe 60s, maybe 60 to 80s. PC Hydro is most suitable to us, but the PC Hydro has a continuous vegetation density data. These only have 3 categories. And so we developed pre-fire scene map using two different tables, using the 2020's vegetation data. And then this it is the TR55 vegetation map for the Catalina Mountain, including the burned area. And this is Piedmont County's scene map using PC Hydro's scene table. In fact, is a scene curve. What you see, this is much red. TR55 provide red, much redder than the our PC Hydro's table. Why? The red means the lower curve number. 37 is the lowest one. 100 is the blue ones. And what that means TR55 produced smaller curve number than our PC Hydro. This is the pre-fire conditions, pre-fire vegetation. And this it is observed not only from here. I think many of if you work in local company, you know, TR55 does provide a low curve number than our PC Hydro. So PC Hydro is more reliable in our opinion. And all the procedures, how we develop this 30 meter by 30 meter resolution map, you can see this paper is already been published. It's online. So we're going to continue look. And after the fire, the BEAR team, it is an interagency team. And they provided it is vegetation reduction map. So what is a vegetation reduction map? From the satellite, they can see how much tree being burned down. Like the vegetation reduced 30% at a 30 meter by 30 meter resolution. So each 30 meter by 30 meter raster files, they tell you how much vegetation has been reduced. Is herbaceous reduced 20%, the trees reduced 30%, and they give you this map. And we using this map and regenerate the curve number using our PC Hydro. So this is a post-fire curve number map for the burn area in Catalina Mountain. So this is a pre-fire condition. You see the red, this orange, and this orange is a mountain, is a trees, Paneros pines on top of the mountain, Catalina Mountain. So most of the trees was burned down, but there are some remainings, still with a low curve number. But all the burned down areas become larger curve numbers. Because this increase of curve number, we're going to see the runoff from this basin going to increase. So this, then you run HMS model, you can see how much runoff going to be increased. So this is showing the very, very, clear difference before pre and post fire, how much the curve number has been increased. So continue, we look. And this it is the meaning of 30 meter by 30 meter cells. And each cell has a burn severity. They're high, moderate, low, or very low. And with that burn severity, and we see how much curve number has been increased. The maximum increase is 19. The smallest increase is about 8.4, and the medium increase about 14.3. Something like those. I high burned with high burn severity cells. With a moderate, it is the range of curve number has been changed. The maximum, the minimum, and the median. The same thing for low burn severity, and we only see around 3. The curve number increase, how much increase? 3. And very low, we only see increase about 1. So we cannot say the whole watershed curve number increase how much. We have to base on the burn severity and then assign each 30 meter by 30 meter cell how much the curve number has been increased. Depend on the vegetation density change. Then we run the HMS model for the burned area. And this model was originally developed by GE Fowler, and we just changed the curve number. We just changed the curve number using a 30 meter by 30 meter resolution curve number map. And what you see the maximum increase of discharge is around 21% over in CDO main channel. And the finger rock had the second largest increase. So the rest of those are not significant, about 15%. Again, this 100.
Jennifer, we cannot hear you.
Right? Okay, are you okay
Yes.
now?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. When you cannot hear me, let me know right away. Okay, thank you. And here you see this is the increase of peak discharge. And the maximum is CDO main, about 21% increase for 100-year design flow. And this is the finger rock, the second largest increase. And then we see Sabino, and we're going to see Ventano main has a moderate increase, 15% of the peak flow increase. So these ETs we believe is scientific based, particularly based on the beer team's burn severity and the vegetation reduction map. So we feel this is more reasonable predictions post-fire runoff. And here I'm going to come into the section 2. This part it is we're going to update the CE map using land fire data. Okay, land fire data. So land fire data, I already mentioned the updating every 5 years with vegetation density and the coverage. No, vegetation types and the coverage. We don't anticipating our vegetation type going to change significantly, but we anticipate our vegetation percentage coverage going to change because land use, climate change, all kind of reasons. All right. So then we did the same approach using the same method as we did for post-fire curve number, map. And then we using 2020 vegetation type and the density, and not from land fire. And we using Piedmont County's soil map, and that is shapefile. It is an integration of survey data, ground truth survey data, circle data, and the statistical data. And we develop a new lookup table. This is very important because we need the soil map, and need the vegetation type and the density. Well, density is 10% cover to 80% cover. You're going to tell me the curve number going to be different, and based on our PC hydro table. And we incorporate our 2-meter by 2-meter impervious coverage map, because in our urban areas, we have I couldn't remember, maybe it's 2022 survey of impervious cover. What is impervious cover? Rooftop, road, parking lot, and all the places impervious. And we assign those cells with 98 as the curve number. And this is 2-meter by 2-meter. So then I show you, this is the entire Piedmont County, our county's boundary, and this is 30-meter by 30-meter resolution using the land fires, vegetation type, and the density data. And this it is what we did, and this it is the data. That is the data. So 30-meter by 30-meter resolution. And this it is not a very big TIFF file. County has this data. You can zoom in, see each channels. Here is Santa Cruz, Rito Rivers, and Panano Wash. And this it is our Alta Valleys, Brawley Wash. And you see other part of the county. So we continue look. And here it is, we merge the impervious area with a 30-meter by 30-meter map, because impervious is the urban the urban land use part, and our cities with impervious. And we use the impervious area, we break this 30-meter by 30-meter map to 2-meter by 2-meter map. Then it is too big. Okay, too big. So this file is 35 gigabytes. Okay, you couldn't, I don't know if you can get it. You can get it from the county or get it from me. In fact, I already distributed a lot of companies and a lot of, researchers, because this is 2 meter by 2 meter resolutions. It is a huge, it has 250 million more of cells. So you couldn't tell. So next, you can zoom in anywhere, take a close look. These are our urban areas. But I'm going to just show you two pictures. One is a residential area. You see those are single house, single house. So each rooftop has multiple 2 meter by 2 meter tiles, cells. These 2 meter by 2 meter cells showing a 98 curve number. And then you're going to see this, it is a park. You see the green, this is a 2 meter by 2 meter boundaries. And those are the park. And in the park, we may see playground, we may see, barbecue places, and we may see some parking lot, and we see there is a turnaround place, parking lot, and you see very clearly, and where the curve number has been changed. And the grasses, we have a curve number, is green, is much smaller. And we have 98, all the red is impervious area, each house, and in front of your house, the backyard lawns, and the front of the house lawns, you all see the curve number are different. So this is very useful if we're going to continue land development, new buildings, and how much runoff going to change. You want to zoom in a local community, and this can represent the information. And right now, and our current county's PC hydro curve number map, it is shapefile. They won't tell you this detailed data, 2 meter by 2 meter resolution. Similar things, we can look at our highways. This is I-10 Congress Street, and you look at the green areas on both sides, and you see in the highways, the middle lane, if I can zoom in further, you can see those green vegetation areas has a smaller curve numbers. And then we're going to see if we want to make more of the green space in the downtown area or in this area, how going to affecting our runoff. So this you can do using this curve number map. But in the past, we don't have this type of tools available. Right now, this available 2 meter by 2 meter. You want to make 100 rain gardens over in downtown of Tucson, you can change this map. And you can change the curve number, and you do a new runoff calculation using a high-grass model. And we did a comparison with the older curve number map, and this is a shapefile. And Dr. Evan Canfield, he had this map, and a lot of holes. This white means there are no data, there are no soil data or no vegetation data, or there are no data, so there are no curve number. So we fill these holes with our new maps data, and that our new map covers the whole area. Cover the whole. And these are shape files. They won't tell you, like, you see, these are shape file. They won't tell you a detailed 2 meter by 2 meter resolution. So this, we calculate the difference between our new curve number map is based on the land fire vegetation data, and compared with the older our PC Hydro's curve number map, and this difference. So you see the majority difference, it is this yellow and this green. This +5 -5. So +5 means it is the new scene map. It is the new between the new scene map minus the old one. So the new scene map, has a bigger curve number in the green areas. Or green area is bigger. How much bigger is 5? So those areas, the green areas, the curve number in the old map is 5 less. All right. So the red areas means the curve number it is under predicted. Okay, under predicted. The new curve number map. Okay, curve, but the difference, okay, the difference. So the difference is there's some difference, okay, some difference, but they are not huge significant. The major difference you see is in our urban areas. How much difference? 25 to 46. The old curve number map, those areas have very low curve number. The new map showing you much larger curve number because our urban expanded since the 80s. So this new curve number is much more reasonable than the old curve number. Than the old there. You look at the blue means 25 to 46 increase. So that's what it means. That's what it means. Okay. So we at least in our study suggests the use of the new curve number, particularly for the developed regions. In order to verify our new developed curve number, we did verification. Okay, verification. How to verification? It is we using three different approach to calculate runoff from a rainfall event, and that rainfall event is observed. So it is we using Bayesian average CN from the new map. We're using graded CN from the new map. So Bayesian average CN, it is we have a CN number, but we have a sub-basins using HMS model. The sub-basins has an average curve number. You average 2 meter by 2 meter cells to a Bayesian average. This is the approach many engineers adopt. The other is we directly using the graded CN map. But this has a problem. We cannot using 2 meter by 2 meter because the watershed I show you we started is too big. The 2 meter by 2 meter, the input file is too big. But for you to start a smaller, sub developing area or a residential area, you can use 2 meter by 2 meter directly a graded CN map. This we using 30 meter by 30 meter because we started the entire Santa Cruz watershed. And the Bayesian average CN from PC Hydro. PC Hydro, you can only use the Bayesian average CN because this is not a raster file. It is a shape file. You don't have each cell's CN number. So we compare the three methods. We select the upper Santa Cruz River bed, lower Santa Cruz. It is from the county lines all the way to Trico Road. And then including the tributary of Rito River tributary. We including the tributary of the Rito River. And this is the Pantano Wash. And this we didn't including this Tanque Verde wash. And then this is a CDO wash, and this is a basin we selected, and we using HMS model. And we simulate the 2006 event that it is a 500-year event, 200 to 500 year between that event in 2006, and we using these three different curve number approach. And everything else are the same. The geometry data, the basin, everything is the same. Just the curve number are different. So then we have observed the gauges. We have two stream gauges over in Santa Cruz River, two stream gauges on Rito River, and then we have a rain gauge. Those rain gauges give the precipitation data. And we using the precipitation data, and then we simulated the event from July 28th to August 5th, 2006. The interval is 15 minutes. And this is a large event. This is a very large event. Okay. And then it is at the Dodge Boulevard. Okay, Dodge Boulevard. The simulated discharge, peak flow discharge for that event. So this blue curve is observed, and using the new curve number approach, it is the green and this orange. And the old curve number, the PC Hydro curve number, the Bayesian average, it is a blue one. And interesting thing you see, and what you see, it is using graded CN map, the green one, and the blue one, it is our old PC Hydro, this is CN map. They are about the same result, but none of them capture the peak we see 300 cubic meter per second as observed. But our new curve number, we have nothing been changed. The number is coming from PC hydro. That's why it have a consistent result with PC hydro, unless we want to change the curve number. In fact, we cannot change the curve number until we have a new study on those. So this is the result. This means we assign the curve number using the new vegetation map. It is correct. It is correct. We correct using the PC hydro table. And this it is the arrows at the dot blue bar. So how much is the arrow? In fact, the arrows is not percentage arrow 0.6%. 0.6% is compared to the peak discharge. So it's not significant big. So the total volume of water, you see this it is the arrow. Okay, the total volume of water. And they are, you see, using graded CMAP, PC hydro, in fact, getting very close result, very close result. Our old CMAP, and that it is a very good result. And our graded CMAP also getting similar results. Similar result. But remember, we are using 2020's vegetation data. This event happens at 206. So it is like 14 years ago. I think that may be some reasons it is not the CMAP for that 2006. But this PC hydro, this it is in earlier days. They could be closer, but I couldn't make that judgment. All right. So continue. This we're going to see at the Rito River La Chula Blue Bar. And we see this, it is the USGS record. And we see the new curve number map, and this orange one and the green ones. And this, it is the blue one, the old PC hydro map. And you see the predictions. There it is arrows. Okay, there it is arrows. And there it is like current ones is over predict that event. And that probably reason, you see the reason, and the reason it is a current land is fully developed, a lot more development. So we have a larger curve numbers, the map showing larger curve number than 2006 situation. That's why we predict a larger runoff. In fact, that year we see less runoff. The reason is 2006 not as developed as today. But anyway, you see this, the real peak comes is under predicting. So there is many reasons you can explain. Maybe curve number method itself is not okay, or some other reasons. But anyway, those are the results. Those are just the results. And without calibration. And here we're going to see the arrow. So the arrow is still relatively low because we compare the peak flow, the percentage is low. Okay, the percentage is low. So this it is the total volume of water, and that arrow from total volume of water. And we're going to continue, and this one showing the new graded curve number getting a little better result, but that doesn't mean it is better. All right. And continue, we look at the Santa Cruz River, and at the Santa Cruz River, the prediction looks the three different approach and the USGS record. And apparently we see the green and the orange means green and orange over predicting. Why? I said 2020 is land is we have more developed urban area in 2006. That's why we predicted more runoff than 2006. 2006, we have more green space than today. But interesting, you see this old curve number, the old curve number based on 80s vegetation data, they also predict very high, very high, runoff. So this is surprising, but I don't have a good explanation. All right. So continue, we look, this at the Trico Road, this is the arrows. You see the arrow percentage about 5% and 4%, and it's still low, okay, still low. So this is the total water volumes percentage, okay, total water volume, a 20% difference. So how you cannot judge which one is better, it's approximately the same. Okay, now we continue to look. This it is at Congress Street. Okay, at Congress Street. At Congress Street, and we see the the peak of this, it is this is real observed curve, and this it is a three method predicted curve, and you see, and it's under predicting. And under predicting is not that significant. It's showing a peak not as big as 200 cubic meter per second, but we couldn't capture the second peak. And again, this it is from the precipitation data, and we have 4 rain gauge as input. If you have more rain gauge, you may have more better data, but we didn't do a fully, calibration or start. It just using 4 rain gauge data. So then this it is the result for the at Congress Street, and the water volume prediction relative good, and then we miss a little bit because the total amount of water is very important in our region during that event. How much water you see in Congress Street, and this showing you how much water you see, and this is showing you the predicted results. And this predicted result, there are no of the this it is not that bad, but it is like 12% errors. Okay, 12% errors. And what is a summary from what I told you? And it is, we think the graded fine resolution CMAP reflects the current vegetation and the land use conditions, and correctly represents the current PC hydrocene definition. And if the current PC hydrocene definition is correct or not, it is beyond this presentation. We just did it is the new curve numbers representing what the PC hydro said, and is more accurate. Why? Because we're using the current vegetation data. And this fine resolution CMAP, it is really useful if you have a small watershed for green infrastructure designs, land develop plannings. Okay, you want to change vegetation. How much trees you need to grow in order to maintain the runoff from a parcel of land, and you can use in this map. You can use in this new CMAP, and all 3 models showing approximately the same arrow and the same, the same result. And I think it shows we did it correct using the PC hydro. And further say which one is better, I cannot make that judgment right now. But the final resolutions give you more, more opportunity to make change. If our entire watershed has a 1 CN number and you have no base to make any change, +1 -1, why? All right, so you have a graded map that you can have like 20 cells has changed, then average it is a whole basin change about 1. There is a scientific base behind it. All right. So about which model would be better, and this is another research question. We will consider this later on. But if you have questions, I can answer you. I can tell you a little bit more details. And this project is funded by Piedmont County Regional Flood Control District, and Dr. DeMaria and Dr. Canfield. They are our project manager, and they give us a lot of advice when we do this project. And finally, we got the paper published, and thank you. And I'm now ready to answer questions. Okay.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Do we have any questions for Dr. Duan? Let me see the chat. Oh, Julia Fonseca has a question.
Go ahead.
In the chat.
Oh, in the chat. I need to see that. Can you read it, or I have to?
It's super long, but it says.
Yeah, I can. So my question pertains to there was an old model that the city of Tucson used called the Tucson Stormwater Management System model. It was done, gosh, I don't know, probably in the 1990s. But one of the things that they did, this was like a Simons Lee product back in the day, and they thought that ponded water was like a big kind of missing component, and they identified areas, I guess, they had some kind of basis for identifying areas of ponded water in the city of Tucson that were caused by, walls and things like that just didn't let the water flow. And so my question was, do you think that ponded water could be an issue when analyzing small urban watersheds?
The ponded water. Okay. Yeah. Wow. The ponded water. Yeah, there are a lot of water pondings, and yeah, it is an issue. And you see, when we have a lot of water being ponded, and we're going to see less runoff. I mean, less peak flow. And the ponding water like a retention basins if they ponded.
Yeah, this wasn't retention basins though. This was like just rain that fell in areas, backyards especially. A lot of people, in the urban areas, they build walls and then the waters don't flow quickly or at all. So they thought that it was necessary in some areas to account for that.
Yeah, so you count for ponding water for what? You count for ponding water to calculating the peak flow.
Yeah, they reduced the flows of their
Yes,
model
yes, they
by a
do.
certain fraction, I guess, to say that, like a certain number of backyards just
Yeah.
simply won't discharge because people
Yeah,
capture all the water.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to come back to right here. Okay. So right now the runoff models like a flow 2D or RAS models. When they go into urban areas, they have backyard. You have a well or you have a pond, and the water are ponding there, and then you can simulate those. The cells can be now the simulation cells can be a meter by meter resolutions. And so this it is exactly to tell you if there is a ponding waters, and this ponding waters, the curve number going to be 100. I mean, that means that water, it is water in the pond. If there are no water in the pond, the water going to fall into the pond, fill the pond until it is full, and then the water going, when it's full, the water going to become a runoff. Okay, but in natural water, like there are lake, the lake's curve number it is 100 because when lake's water, it is a surface runoff, and the lake water direct becomes surface runoff. So they sign it is 100 lake water bodies. So same thing if you have a pond in your backyard. Okay, now you have a pond in your backyard, but your pond it is dry. Okay, so this is a DEM. It is just a dry well, Okay, dry well, and the water going to fill it first, and it filled it first. Then it's going to become a runoff. But before it being filled, and these areas, the runoff numbers going to be 0, or very small. All the runoff going to come into there. All the rains coming to that cell, if your well is 2 meter by 2 meter. So all the precipitation going to go into the well until it is filled up. So then that going to have no runoff out of that pond until it filled up. But I believe when the people doing this flow 2D model or RAS 2D models, they could have those ponding areas, assign those ponding areas or delineate those ponding areas. And when they do the simulation, they can change in the curve number. They can change in the curve. Before it fills, and the curve number it is 0. After the fill, the curve number it is hundreds, and not hundreds, and they all become surface runoff. So that's what I think if you want to using curve number for this type of scenario. But it is important. In fact, we don't see runoff on the street is ponding in some area. But just to let you know one thing, it is, we do kinematic wave, diffusion wave, and dynamic wave. Kinematic wave cannot simulate in this ponding phenomena because kinematic wave is based on the slope surface water only go down the slope from high elevation to low elevation. They couldn't do this phenomena like a pond is low elevation, they filled up, and then when the water level is not high, they fill, they're going to flow down to lower surface elevation, not a lower land surface, to lower water surface. So this is two different concepts. If you're using kinematic wave, you cannot addressing this fill and filled up and then a flow condition. But you must using dynamic or the diffusion, even diffusion wave. I don't believe they're addressing this too, because it's a slope dominating phenomenon.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
the other thing that occurred to me was just I remember seeing a number of studies in more kind of mountainous areas of California, Colorado, and Utah that showed that their models were over predicting the runoff, and they looked into this further in a number of these areas, and they attributed the difference to the depletion caused by long-term drought that reduced soil moisture and moisture in the Veda zone, bedrock cracks and things like that. But it doesn't seem to be I didn't really see that evidence in your models for the runoff
that's
from the
very
Catalina.
right. Yeah, the curve number has a you see I deleted that slides. Okay, I deleted that slide, but I probably won't be able to get the slides out. But I want to tell you, it is the curve number we see in this table. You see this table, and that ETR55 and our PC hydro table. And we call them a base curve number, okay? We call them a base curve number. The reason we call them a base curve, this table, and we call them a base curve number, they can change, or they should be adjusted based on soil moisture condition. There's 3 different soil moisture conditions. You should change this curve number. There is a formula for this, but I do have this. I do have this slide, but I deleted that slide because I don't want this too long. So this called base curve number. According to the soil moisture condition, the pre-event soil moisture condition, you're going to change in those curve numbers. Yeah, you're going to that there it is this antecedent soil moisture condition, and you need to change in the soil moisture conditions. Yeah, so there it is a way to do this, but for our simulations we didn't do, because it is our task is develop curve number, and the verification part is we are volunteering to doing that, and we want to make sure what we did and we said are correct. And so then I was showing you, it is the slides I trying to showing you this. It is okay. So this is slides I'm showing you. So depend on the soil moisture conditions, you should adjust that curve number, pre-event curve number. So curve number we see over in the table, we call it base curve number. Same thing as we develop a curve number, we call them base curve number. Yeah.
Thank you. It's really good to see that this work has been done for Pieman County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. I have another question from Pang.
Pang, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Jennifer, thanks. It's very good. So I just want because I saw you compile the discharge at the Santa Cruz River at 2 USGS gauge. I'm just wondering, does your HMS model cover all the Santa Cruz watersheds? Or just focus?
Yeah, just the county part. So this it is a verification. Honest tell you, it is we didn't well anyway, and it is only not the whole thing. So that's that what we were thinking is not what's the reason there is like 20 or 30% errors, and some you see right here. Okay, so
Right,
it's not only our county part, because we were considered doing further and going a little bit wide but this is not our county. We don't have a graded senior map for it. We didn't do this for it. We didn't do. So for the downstream to the Pinal County, we don't have we didn't do for Pinal County. We don't have Pinal County soil map like Pima County has. So this is the cutoff of the county line.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do see the curve still match very good with the gauge that I think 2006 event is mostly concentrated in Tucson area. So I guess that still is very matched very well.
Yes, it is without the calibration, without using a lot of, we only have 4 rain gauge, we using this alert gauge as the rainfall data, and only 4 of them. You think about it, there are much more gauge around this area we can use as input. We didn't because consider the effort, the work, everything. So then this is observe the gauge, stream gauge data. So I think without calibration, it at least I think the map I showing you is representing exactly this map. This map, it is representing this map, representing exactly what PC Hydro told us. Yeah. And the good thing it is, it's very fine resolution. You could say now I'm going to build a few more house over here. So this land, how much runoff going to increase? They're going to tell you exactly. Yeah. For instance, the highway, we're going to change it is we're going to do a green infrastructure in the middle of the lanes, and how much we can reduce the surface runoff to the road surface, to the street. If we're using rain gardens and we're using rain gardens, how is it going to reduce on the road surface? You see the road surface, how much runoff going to be reduction? Like in our university campus, the second street always has flooding every time. If we use rain gardens, how many rain gardens? 2 meter by 2 meter ones, and we can see there no more rain pounding on the second street. This can, because in the past all those seeing maps, it is for the sub basin, it's a big basin. We don't have this detailed data. But this does give you a base detailed data. When you use it again, you're going to using this as a base and calibrate it at the pre soil moisture contents, and before you simulating an event.
Thank you, Jennifer.
JJ.
JJ?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. I was trying to get my mic unmuted. Dr. Dewan, thank you for this work. This is very much going to be helpful for what I and the rest of the consultants are doing for our community to try to reduce that uncertainty and determining what runoff is going to be for our various watersheds. I had a question about the burn severity curve numbers.
Yeah.
For those water, in particular, we had a flood, on Finger Rock Wash.
Yeah.
And so we have development that is occurring in the Catalina foothills.
Yeah.
And the question that we're faced with is what curve numbers should we be using for those areas that are affected by the burn as the watershed recovers?
Yes. So this it is a curve number immediately after the burn. We use 30 to 45 days. We using vegetation reduction map. So after the burn, they tell you this 30 meter by 30 meter, 90% of tree all burned. The satellite image showing, and there is hibiscus all gone. So this is high burn severity. Okay. So if this is high burn severity, and you can use the maximum curve number 19, increase 19, reduce minimum reducing from what we see from the Catalina Mountain, it is about 8.4. Or you say I use an average, and how much risk you want to take. And right now it is recovered. It is 4 years after the burn. So the curve number must be around, you know, it was a number. It had, it is, you can, I think you can use, you just, which land, you just zoom our curve number, you just zoom in there and you download it, that's all. Because this is immediate after fire. And currently, the curve number, it is smaller than the immediate after fire because vegetation are recovering. So the flood risk is reducing current because more vegetation come back. But you can use our curve number because you said that Catalina Mountain somewhere over here, and you just, I can give you this raster file. And all you need to do, it is you just, you know, using a shape file and download it.
Did you have it in your scope for your research to determine what those curve numbers might be based on 4 years of watershed recovery?
We don't have that. We didn't do this study. We just did this project was ended 2 years ago, 2022, because it just posted a fire and, you know, county needed to know how much increase of runoff. And we did a study. Yeah,
Thank you.
We don't have the current situation after this 4 years recovery and what is the current vegetation situation. We don't have that. It must be smaller than this. How much is small? I don't know. I need to see the new vegetation map, and we regenerate this curve possible. Yeah. But
Thank
we
you.
don't have that. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing the work with us. Now the county is in the process of starting to use the data
Thank you.
we created during the project. So very useful information for us. Well, thank you everybody for joining the webinar today. We will be back in September with another presentation. So, well, I think that's it. Thank you, Jennifer, again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.